Don't buy into this absolute crazy idea that now that you're cutting, or you need to tone up, that's a made up word, I want to be toned. Excuse me? You're not a musical instrument. Simon Miller here, a guy that often likes to talk about weights and give you some advice, and you can take it or you can throw it in the toilet. It's completely up to you. Call me a bald a-hole in the comments. Now, a lot of what we are going to talk about today, we have chatted about before, but it's the question I get asked the most. And to be fair, one person said, well, Simon, actually, I missed that video because you tried to be all creative with the title. And I was like, you know what? That's a fair point. So I thought today we'll keep it nice and simple. The 10 best ways to get shredded, and then we're leaving it in the past, and we're never going to talk about it again unless for some reason we have to. Number 10 is to drop empty calories, e.g. calories that you don't need. I'm much more for putting your mental health first and enjoying fitness. So, if you do want to have a beer, going to talk about it, or you do want to have a fizzy drink, we're going to talk about it. I'm talking about a full sugar one. Then maybe you should do it if it's actually going to make you happier. However, if your sole goal is that you want to get ripped, you want to get shredded, you want to get cut, you get nothing from drinking this. You get nothing from drinking beer. You get nothing from drinking fizzy drinks. They are, as we've already said, empty calories, and you need to be taking your calories and utilizing them and getting nutrition as best you can because you have a specific goal in mind. Also, when it does come to drinking alcohol, yes, it can affect muscle recovery a little bit. So it's all about deciding, what do you want right now? I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you really want to get ripped, just get rid of it for a while. No, you're going to bring it back at some point when you feel like it, or maybe even use it for a treat on a Saturday night. But yeah, just ignore empty calories. Throw them out the door. Again, throw them into the toilet. You don't need them. That ain't in your plan right now. And talking to number 9, we get to the one that we always mention, a calorie deficit. That's all you need to do. Ensure that you are eating less calories than you're taking in, and you will start to lose weight. It works in 100% of human beings, unless you have some kind of illness, but I've never heard of that illness. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but maybe it does. So I don't want to be that guy. But it's literally, if you really, really are struggling, and there's so much nonsense on the internet anyway about or if you stand on one foot and, crane your arms like from the Karate Kid, all of a sudden fat will just magically go from your body. And other people will even say, oh, I can make you lose, body fat right here. Everyone goes, how do I lose fat around my stomach? The same way you lose fat overall, you can't specifically target fat in your arms, for example. Oh man, I see that all the time. You get trainers going, hey man, do you want to get rid of those chicken wings? Insulting. Straight away, I can do it with this magic fat gun. And you're like, there is no such thing as a magic fat gun. Again, do not get dragged down with this stuff. Calorie deficit. Eat less calories than you're taking in, and you're gonna have some abs. And number 8 is a great way to do that. Make sure you're doing your cardio, because if you're doing your cardio, even if you're only burning 500 calories off a day, that's 500 calories. So if you were gonna eat a 500 calorie chocolate bar and then do 500 calories on your cardio machine, or burn 500 calories, hey, that chocolate bar didn't exist. It may as well be a ghost. It just makes things so much easier. It probably means you're gonna be able to eat a little bit more, which ties into other things we're going to talk about on this list. Do whatever you want. Boxing, wrestling, MMA, cross trainer, treadmill, stepper, whatever. There's no rights, there's no wrongs. You find what cardio works for you and you do it. Same with fasted cardio, non-fasted cardio, steady state, HIIT. There are pros and cons to each. Educate yourself, go and read about it, decide what's best for you. Shut out anybody else that tells you you're wrong if you know that it's working. And number 7 is make sure you're eating nice foods and taking advantage of the things that we have in this world. I already know what some of the comments are going to say. You can't drink diet drinks, they're bad for you. No, they're not. It's so much better to have a couple of Diet Cokes in a day than it is to just go crazy and eat a pizza. And that's why you got to make sure that you're eating nice foods. Don't think that there's certain foods that you can eat when you're bulking, and then you can't eat those foods when you're cutting. That is gibberish. That is mumbo jumbo. That is like Gandalf talk, like rah, rah, rah. I will not fail you. No, it doesn't exist. All you have to do is eat less of them. And again, make sure your calories are going down. So if you enjoy eating wraps, have one less wrap. If you enjoy cream of rice, I really like cream of rice, have 20, 30 grams less of that. If you like fruit, have one banana instead of 2. Just again, break it right down to the bare bones And then you don't have to over worry about it. And also, you'll be excited about eating. If I tell you now for the next 7 days, more than that, 12 weeks, you've just got to eat white and green, chicken rice, chicken rice, chicken rice, chicken rice, and then some broccoli thrown in. After around about 10 days, you're like, I can't do this anymore. This is not worth it. And you're going to go eat at McDonald's because they're all opening up again. You're going to get excited. You're going to get caught up in the hype. And then you would have thrown it all away. But if you're eating nice food all the time, you'd be like, I don't need a McCheese. Not a thing. I don't need a McCheese. I can stick with this. Number 6 is in terms of what you're doing in the gym. Don't buy into this absolute crazy idea that now that you're cutting or you need to tone up, that's a made up word. I want to be toned. Excuse me? You're not a musical instrument. Like, you just keep doing what you're doing in the gym because it's a great barometer, right? If you are bench pressing, I've said this before, if you are bench pressing 100 kilograms and then you drop 10 pounds and you're still bench pressing 100 kilograms, you will know with near certainty, well, I didn't drop any muscle, especially in my chest and my arms and my shoulders, because I'm still benching the same. Hypertrophy is hypertrophy. I totally believe that you want to, aim for, 10 to 15 reps or more. Basically, you want to try and aim for the fact keeping a muscle under tension, time under tension for around about 35 to 40 seconds. And you want to be as strong as you can or use as heavy weights as you can because the heavier weights, the more your muscles are going to grow. So keep training the same way. Don't all of a sudden start doing lightweight, high rep means you're getting cut. And low rep strength means you're bulking up. It's old school. It doesn't make any sense. That's not how bodies work. Your body doesn't know what you're doing. You don't say to your brain, we're cutting now. And it goes, okay. And it gets a gear and goes, and you're in cutting mode. That's not how it works. It's all the same. Muscle growing and muscle building works in exactly the same way, no matter, which direction you're headed in. So absolutely lift as heavy and as strong as you were doing before and just see how you develop from there. Number 5 is sleep. It's so important. It's so imperative. That's when you grow. That's when you recover. If you don't get good sleep, you may not have any appetite, and then you can't eat. And it may, because when you're tired, you do just want a snack. And then when you do your training, you're not going to want to do it, and cardio, and so on and so forth. And I totally get it. I suck at sleeping. Last night, I got 4.5 hours. I was like, damn you, body. What are you doing? And I've even tried taking sleep aids. It still doesn't work. My body is just intent on staying up all the time. I just have a crazy brain. But you need to do your best to work it in. And even if that means napping throughout the day, whatever, if you can. I understand it's almost impossible to nap. I haven't napped since 1872. But if you're not resting, especially when you are entering a calorie deficit and your body's going to be a little bit worn out anyway, you've got to make sure you're operating on as high a level as you can. And that's why human beings have to sleep 8 hours a night. That's when we recover, and that's when we start again. Number 4, I mentioned fizzy drinks. Don't make that your sole intake of liquid. Water. Make sure you are getting your water in. 1, if you want to look at it this way, the more water you drink, the more you'll be filled up, and then you aren't going to want to snack and, again, eat too many calories. But 2, again, much like the sleep, your body needs it. You are made of water. And if you're making sure you're getting as much as you need in, I'm not going to sit here and say you need 6 liters a day. I drink 6 liters a day. Maybe you need more. Maybe you need less. Remember, you can drink too much water. People have died from drinking too much water, so take your time and figure it out. But if you're not getting enough in, of course it's going to affect everything. It will affect your mood. It will affect your skin. It will affect your muscle recovery. You have to make sure you're hydrated. Just remember this rule. If you're thirsty, it's already too late. That sounds like someone's going to come in and just start beating you up. Like, oh, it's too late. Not too late in that sense, but it means you have dehydrated yourself, and it stands to reason you never really want to be dehydrated. Number 3 is just dream about being shredded, because that way, when you get shredded and you get ripped, you can absolutely look in the mirror and say to yourself, oh man, I just achieved your dream. And you deserve that because you had a target and you hit it, and somebody should be giving you some love. And if you don't have somebody in your life, and I hope that you do, give yourself that love. Pat yourself on the back like Barry Horowitz. Everybody forgets this. Everybody forgets to reward themselves with some nice thoughts in their brain. So dream it, make it happen, achieve the dream. Number 2 is make sure you're talking to somebody about this stuff as well. I mentioned the mental health aspect when we began. Absolutely, you should be doing that, because I tell you, if you're trying to get down to sort of sub 8%, you are going to be a mess. You're going to be an absolute mess at one point, and you should be on the phone or on the text or on the WhatsApp saying to people, hey, I'm doing this, it's really hard, especially if you don't have a trainer, and they'll be able to keep you motivated. And keeping motivated and keeping inspired is absolutely imperative. Don't go too nuts with it, but even if you just want to have a picture of what you're aiming to do, or maybe you're doing a photo shoot or you're going on holiday, have that date somewhere where you can see it. Visual reminders are actually a great thing. Like, there's only so many things you can do physically, and really all you need to do, like I say, is eat less and do cardio and eat healthy. Kaboom, you will have done it. But if you feel like you need other tips to get you there, yeah, make it a visual thing. I know it sounds all hippie trippy, like, oh man, gonna look at, but it works. It works. And number one is to always remember to eat a balanced diet. You don't need to get rid of fruit because it's got fructose in it. You don't need to get rid of carbs because carbs are the enemy and they're going to sneak around the corner and steal your belongings. You need to get some healthy fats in. Again, eat in balance, eat in moderation. Calories are the key. Make sure you're getting your protein in. You don't need me to tell you that. Everyone's eating way too much protein. You're probably eating 722 grams of protein a day, even though you're a 150-pound man or woman. But that's fine. You do you. I respect it massively. But that is key. That's imperative, because if you just get rid of all carbs, sure, it will work and you'll drop loads of weight, but that's because you've dropped calories still. And eventually you will reintroduce those carbs. Don't never eat carbs again. And your stomach is going to freak out and you're going to pile a bunch of weight back on. And then you're going to be sad. And I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, Simon Miller doesn't want anybody to be sad. And there you go, that's it. The 10 best ways to get shredded. Hopefully that is as straight as an arrow, kapow. So if you have seen other videos and got confused, now you know. Let me know how you're going on in your own fitness journeys in the comments below. I love to hear it. Any more ideas that maybe you don't think I've covered, again, in the comments, we'll do it. Like the video, share the video. Please hit subscribe. Please put that bell on, ding, ding. The amount of emails I get from YouTube saying no one's got your bell on, it just hurts, man. It hurts me deep down inside. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. Bunch of videos on screen now. Click one, watch something else that I've done. I appreciate you coming on the journey with me. And I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316. Description in the, link in the description below, because I'm still trying to make something of myself on this old YouTube game. Otherwise, you take care of yourself and I'll see you soon.